Thank you all for joining us for our 2021 festival presentations. I'm Amy Seaman, Montana Audubon's Director of Policy and Science.
And I'm Bo Crease, Avian Specialist for Montana Audubon and the Montana Natural Heritage Program. And we are here to share with you this Birdsong 101 presentation.
Birdsongs 101, Forests to Flatlands, an introduction to our common, fun, and wonderful species here in Montana's forests and flatlands. You can see many of these without having to stray far from the beaten path. And in Montana, we're lucky to be surrounded by diverse habitats that support a suite of songbirds we hear as early as April. With this crash course, we want to give you what you need to start making sense of these Montana summer songs. As we go through the slides, Bo Crease and I will alternate, sharing 3 pieces of information with each. The background of the slide will show habitat type along with a star to indicate where in the habitat you'll often hear the birds singing. It's a good way to cheat to know where certain species like to spend time caroling. We'll also show a picture of the singing male and play the song for you. We'll show you how it works with a common species, the northern flicker, seen and heard among both the forests and flatlands in Montana, and even close to home. Northern flicker, common woodpecker seen across diverse habitat types in Montana, even sagebrush. You may hear either its singular clear call or its more rapidly paced kwee-kwee-kwee song. The clear call can be heard year-round, while the other is most often heard during the nesting season. Keep your eye out for the red mallard stripe and black shield on the breast of the singing male.
Hairy woodpecker, a common white-backed woodpecker in conifer forests that may show up at home suet feeders. Slightly larger than the downy woodpecker, the hairy woodpecker's call is a sharp, high-pitched pick. And their drum is the fastest of all of Montana's woodpeckers. Keep your eye out for the red patch on the back of the male's head.
Black Cap Chickadee, a small striking bird with full black cap and dark throat patch, often heard making small contact calls and chatters. The typical breeding male's song, "Hey, sweetie," is made up of 2 notes, while the namesake chickadee-dee-dee-dee may occur in any number of phrases.
Red-breasted nuthatch. Widespread in arboreal habitat, the repeated nasal calls of the red-breasted nuthatch is unmistakable. Like the black-capped chickadee, males and females are visually identical.
Ruby-crowned kinglet. With a big voice for a small bird, the ruby-crowned kinglet is often heard from the tops of conifers or bouncing around in the willows. While the call notes are very high-pitched and often precede the loud melodic song, the body of the song can be heard at quite a distance.
American robin. Though common, the cheer up, cheerly, cheerio of the American robin is fluty and always a welcome note of spring. This most widespread of Montana's thrushes can be heard singing spring and summer across the state.
Spotted towhee. Often skulking low to the ground in brushy habitat, it can be fun to catch a glimpse of the towhee's red eye, rufous flanks, and dark hood. Listen for its explosive trilling song that is prefaced by one or more introductory notes.
Chipping sparrow. Typically faster, more insect-like, and longer than the dark-eyed junco, the chipping sparrow's mechanical trill can often be heard emanating from dry and open conifer woodlands.
Dark-eyed junco. While the junco's short song, typically 1.5 seconds or less, is very similar to the chipping sparrow's, the abrupt scolding or alarm tip call note is unique and commonly heard as birds actively forage and keep in close communication.
Song sparrow. While the song sparrow is well known for its many dialects across its range, its jumbled series of trills are often delivered from high in a willow near water. Listen for the shrill introductory notes, followed by a trill and irregular series of chirps.
Yellow warbler. Like the song sparrow, the sweet song of this lemon yellow male yellow warbler is common in riparian areas across the state.
Ring-necked pheasant. This surprising noise can often be heard from deep in the grass or in shrubby riparian areas or agricultural fields. Listen for the elaborately colored male's harsh squawk.
Mourning dove. Often described as a mournful coo, the mourning dove's song can be heard coming from either riparian areas or open country. Listen also for the unique sound of their wings. And keep an eye out for the long pointed tail.
Common nighthawk. Typically crepuscular, but also heard during the day, the call of the nighthawk can be heard across the state. Listen for the short call as the bouncy flyer passes by with its long tail and white banded wings.
Sandhill crane. Audible for miles, the resonant rolling bugle of Sandhill crane will remind you of dinosaurs and days past. If seen, the large brown-gray birds are unmistakable, and once heard, they will be too.
Killdeer. A shorebird far from America's true shores, the killdeer of our open habitats can be heard loudly calling its own name.
Horned lark. Often heard before it's seen, unless you're flushing it from the side of the road as you drive by. The horned lark's rapid rising tinkling song will typically be heard high above the open prairie.
Vesper sparrow. Common and widespread in open habitat, the song of the plainly colored vesper sparrow is somewhat similar to the song of the song sparrow of wetter areas. Try to see the white outer tail feathers as vesper sparrows fly from fence posts.
Savannah sparrow. A very abundant bird in lush grass habitats, the Savannah sparrow adds another short insect-like call. You may think you're hearing a grasshopper, but the short introductory notes, followed by two drawn-out insect-like buzzes, make you know you're listening to a bird.
Western meadowlark. Ubiquitous in grasslands across Montana, our beautiful state bird is the song of spring in the grasslands to many. With a black shield against a bright yellow breast and belly, the song is equally stark. It's described as a descending and bubbling warble song.
And finally, the Red Wing Blackbird, a favorite for many because the name connects so directly with the look of the male bird. Also a favorite because the call is so recognizable and the species is so widespread across our riparian areas. With a clear conqueree, it's a favorite and also tells us spring is here. And that's all for Bird Songs 101. Thanks so much for joining our 2021 festival.